Hey guys, so welcome to today's video. So, you guys know me, I am starting YouTube, but I've only been out for has it been over a month? Oh my gosh, it's been over a month. But, you know what I mean, I'm trying to experiment where I want my channel to go. So today we'll be talking, as you guys probably saw from the trailer, Disney lied about Cinderella and many other fairy tales. So, I'm trying to figure out a good, name for this series. I'm going to figure it out sometime soon. Please comment down below on this video or the trailer to help me because I kind of need some new names, good names, because I can't really think of any. So, this is a Disney version of Cinderella. I have this on Google Slides. And then so we're going to talk about the Brothers Grimm really quick. So, the Brothers Grimm, they're from Germany, and they made many fairy tales. But they didn't make them for children. They made them for adults. A little strange, but as I say, to each his own. So I'm just gonna go. So we're gonna talk about some fun facts about Cinderella. And then we're gonna get into some history, different kinds of Cinderellas around the world, and other things. So, did you know that Cinderella dates back to the 1st century BC? So, an ancient Greek geographer is said to have spun a tale. This is from Fantago, so please don't sue me, Fantago. From an ancient Egypt whose sandal was snatched by an eagle. When the sandal is recovered by a king who admires his beautiful shape, he seeks out for the shoe's owner and eventually makes the woman his wife. Sounds kind of familiar? So, this is something that we will only be talking about, is that Cinderella didn't always have the fairy godmother, didn't always have the glass slipper. The glass slipper was pretty unique to Disney, but the original version was a sandal. In the Brothers Grimm version, it was pretty sure it was a gold slipper. How did they did in the Wizard of Oz? They made ruby red slippers because I wanted to look cool. But it was originally silver slippers. So, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. It was Charles Perrault who introduced the glass slipper and the fairy godmother in the Cinderella story in 1697. Cindwillan. Other versions found him having magic ring, magic gold, silver, or fairy slippers. Similarly, the spirit of Cinderella's deceased mother at times has betrayed fairy godmother type character. So this Cinderella actually saved Disney. So, in 1948, it was the biggest risk of their career. The studio wasn't doing well at the time, their last hit being Snow White in 1937. The end of World War II, Disney was $4 million in debt. Uh-oh, Disney. And Cinderella was considered to be a big old roll of the dice for Disney. So, if the movie lost money, Walt would be a little bit screwed, basically. And also, but hey, the Cinderella was a good hit. So, Disney's animated Cinderella was the first live-action Cinderella too, so they may be kind of confused like that. So, due to their hardships at the time, they couldn't pour a bunch of funds in Cinderella like what they've done for Fantasia and Pinocchio. So they shot it all in live action first, and then used that live action footage to design that and whatever. But the animators weren't very happy that it limited them kind of creatively creatively. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry, I am not big at words. So either way, she, yeah, like they, like, all right. I mean, give us more, give us more creativity. So Cinderella is one of the oldest Disney princesses. She's around 19 to 20. As most of them, you know how most of these was like 15, 16, 17? Like, Tiana's right, I almost said Tiana. Tiana's right behind her. She's 19. And then 14 is Snow White. Prince is definitely a little bit older than her. A little concerned there, but as they say, times are different. Doesn't mean a 14-year-old should be marrying like 20-something-year-old prince, but and then Frozen's Anna, one of Disney's newest princesses, is 18. Something that I don't understand why they don't consider Elsa a princess. I mean, I know she's technically a queen, but she was a princess at one point. And if they wanted to considering Elsa, she would probably be the oldest one because I'm pretty sure she's like 22 in Frozen. So Cinderella features Walt Disney's favorite piece of animation. So, with part where the fairy godmother does bippity boppity boo, Cinderella turns to a beautiful woman, blah, 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 blah. It's the when she turns Cinderella all beautiful into that beautiful ball gown. It's Walt Disney's favorite piece of animation ever. Good one on Cinderella. So, the Cinderella song you probably never heard. So, Walt, as far as Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, aka like 1937-ish, Disney wanted to make a scene. Whenever I say Disney, I'm probably talking about Walt. Actually, I would say Walt for Walt Disney, Disney for the company. So Walt was a scene where a princess and a prince danced among the clouds. How magical. It was gonna be for Snow White, but they cut it because that Disney, they didn't really, it felt like it really wasn't needed, and it felt like it would kind of slow the pace down the movie. So when it came time for Cinderella, there was an entire scene storyboarded, but a song called Dancing on the Cloud, performed by Renee Woods, was also recorded. The screen was scrapped, but the image from above, I'm not gonna do it for copyright reasons, but and also the scene Sleeping Beauty, that was Dancing on the Clouds. So he finally got it. So poor stepsisters. So they got off pretty easy in the animated movie, but not so in the earlier versions of the tale. Oh god. We're going to be talking more about this. We're actually going to be reading some parts of the Grimm Brothers fairy tale. So, in the Grimm Brothers story, birds pecked the eyes of the sisters during the wedding. Isn't that beautiful? And then in other versions too, they cut off their feet, or cut off like their toes to fit into the glass slipper. Never probably gonna look at the stepsisters again. So, now this is specifically for the 1950 version, but you know whenever she's cleaning, when she's cleaning and there's bubbles all over her and it's such a magical scene, that makes a secret Mickey face. Boop, boop, boop. So, you can, in many Disney movies, they have, what is it called? You know what I'm talking about, right? hold up. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm sorry. The like like the Hidden Mickeys, kind of like A113 and Pixar movies or Pizza Planet. It's kind of like that. So in the live action Cinderella, Emma Watson almost played Cinderella, but she turned it down, and she wanted to play Belle in Beauty and the Beast. And then they cast Lily James instead. So there's some fun facts about Cinderella. Now we're going to be getting into some history and other versions. So I'm on Wikipedia right now. So, gotta love Wikipedia, right? I've already read all this, so I'm kind of just going to try to summarize it. So, in the European, as they said in the fun facts, it's a Greek story of Rhodopis, a Greek courtesan living in the colony of Naquitus in Egypt. Her name in American means rosy cheeks. So it was first made by Greek geographer Strabo in Geographa. So an eagle snatched her sandal and carried it to Memphis. And while the king was admiring the justice in the open air, the eagle, when it wagged above his head, flung the sandal into his lap. And the king, stirred by both the beautiful shape of the sandal and the strangeness of the occurrence, sent all men in directions of the country in quest of the woman who wore the sandal. And then, the king and the wife got married. King and Rosy Cheeks got married. So in the Roman order, Alien, in his Miscellaneous History, which was written entirely in Greek. So it's kind of like, it's very close to the one by Strabo, but it adds the name of the pharaoh in question. Pharaoh was Psamkitis. Okay, so Rhodopis remained popular throughout out of that period. So Herodotus, in some 5 centuries before Strabo, records a popular legend about a possibly related courtesan named Rhodopis in his histories, claiming that she from Thrace was a slave of landman of Samos and fell in a slave of the storyteller, also a slave of the storyteller Aesop. So they also had the shoe. So there's also many others too. I'm just gonna read a few because there's a lot of versions of Cinderella. Like a lot of versions of Cinderella. Now we're gonna go and talk about the Brothers Grimm. And it is indeed a Grimm version. So Asipa of Phocaea. So so this one in Ariane's Varia Storia. She lost her mother when she was younger, and she was raised by her father. Aspia, aka Cinderella, she was poor. I don't think she had a stepmother in this version. So but despite, besides, living in poverty and, being poor, she wanted to, marry a good man. She wanted to, have a good life. So she's falling asleep one night. She has a vision of a dove transforming into a woman. And she instructs her on how to remove physical imperfection and restore her beauty. and fix her beauty. So that's my dog's going crazy. Um, so in this one, there's this one by French, and this is another variant of the Cinderella story. Her name is Ray France, the Ash Tree Girl. So this one is retold by Mary de France. So a wealthy woman abandoned her daughter in the base of an ash tree. And she is one of twin sisters. And according to the popular belief at the time, their twins were evidence of two different fathers. ... But, so basically, the infant is discovered by a porter, whatever that means, and she's raised by nuns. But after she grows up, a young, noble, young man sees her and becomes her lover. He is forced to marry a woman of noble birth. Francine, Ash Tree Girl, except that she'll never marry who she loves, but waits in a wedding chamber as a handmaiden. But her beloved bride is actually her twin sister. No one recognizes the brocade as the same one she's given the daughter she abandoned so many years ago. So, Francine, her true parent is revealed, and as a result of her noble birth, she's allowed to marry the guy, while twin sister marries someone else. Now, this one, I don't even know where this is from in Europe. Maltese. I don't know what Maltese is. So, I'm just going to try to do this. When I was doing research video last night, I was like, well, how the hell do you pronounce this name? Click Game Mufasa? It's not Mufasa. Mufusa? Click Mufusa? Click Mufusa? Did I get it? Ciklemfusa. USA. So she is, in this version of the Maltese version, Click Mufasa, how we pronounce that. So she is an orphan child when she was younger. And then before her father died, which also happens in the other Cinderella versions too, with the Disney ones, he gives her a magical chestnut, a magical nut, and a magical almond. She used to work as a servant in the king's palace. So no one took notice of her. So she heard that a big ball was happening at the palace, and she, with the help, and she had to use a magical spell, turn into a princess. And the prince fell in love with her and gave her a ring. On the following night, the prince gave her a diamond, and on the third night, he gave her a ring with a large gem on it. By the end of the ball, Click Mufusa would run away, hiding herself in the cellars of the palace. This guy sounding the Disney version. So she knew that the prince was very sad about her disappearance, so he made some crostini type of Maltese biscuits for him, and hid 3 gifts in each of them. That'll bring a girl back 100%. So the prince ate the biscuits. He found the gifts to give to the mysterious princess, and he would ignore her because of her poor looks, and then they soon made marriage arrangements, and she became his wife. So, now we have the Chinese one and the Vietnamese one. I don't think I'm going to read the Vietnamese one. I'm just going to read it very, very quickly because it's very similar to the Chinese version. So, So Yi Zan. So Tale of Yi Zan. It's in the missionless morsels from Yu Yang. I'm so confused, but either way. So Ye Zan is Yin Yang, Yin Zan? I don't know. We'll call her Yin Zan because there's a Z at the beginning of the name. So she is the daughter of a local tribe leader. Her mom died when she was younger. She was very young. And because her mom died early, she is now under the care of her father's second wife who abused her. She befriends a fish, which is the reincarnation of a deceased mother. Her stepmom and has to kill the fish, but Yizan finds the bones, which are magical, and they help her dress appropriately for the local festival, including a very light golden shoe. The stepfamily recognizes her at the festival, causing her to flee and accidentally lose the shoe. So, after the king, the king finds the shoe and tries to find who can fit the shoe. And so the king searches everyone, finally reaches Yi's house, and she tries on the shoe. The king knows, okay, she's the one, and he brings her back to his kingdom. Her cool stepmother and half sister are killed by flying rocks. Didn't know that rocks could fly, but either way. And Tam and Cam. So heroine Tam has a fish, also killed by his stepmother and half sister Cam. Just accent marks. Tam and Cam. And the bones also give her clothes too. So the Tam dies. She was killed by her stepmother and sister and reincarnated several times in form of a bird, a room, and a gold apple. Wow. So she finally reunited with the king and lived happily ever after. So Cam asked Tam about her beauty secrets, and Tam put her into a hole, and Tam made the guards pour boiling water on Cam. I'm not going to say the rest of it, because that's very dark. So, this is called Kong Ji-wee and Pat Jae-wee. So, this is from Korea, and this is similar to the Disney version of Cinderella. So, but this one has a lot of violence, but two distinguishing characteristics: the degree of violence and the plot's continuance to past the marriage to Prince Charming. So Kong Yuji, aka Cinderella, whose her mom is when she was a child, and her father remarries a widow. Widow also has a daughter named Patwiji. So no two stepsisters. So once Kong Jae-wee's father dies, I'm sorry, I'm definitely 100% pronouncing that wrong, but I'm sorry, but I don't know. So I'm pronouncing that why I'm going to be very impressed with myself. So once the father dies, Patwiji and the stepmom abuse Conraji. They starve her, beat her, and making her be their little slave. So she's aided by animals and supernatural helpers like a cow, a toad, and a flock of birds, and a fairy. So these magical helpers help Conraji attend a dance in honor of a masquerade ball. Wait, what? Mag straight. So let's see. This was used in Rome. It's government stuff. On her way back from that dance, she loses her shoe, and then everyone searches the town, including the masquerade, to find someone who can fit the shoe. When he finds Kanji, he marries her. You guys know each other very well. So um her hardships continue into the marriage. So Patwaji is really, really jealous of Kanji and makes and drowns Kanji in a pond. So she pretends to be Kanji and marries the magistrate. So then Kanji is reincarnated into a rose flower, burned by Patwaji, reincarnated once more into a marble. With help from additional characters, Kanji is able to inform her husband of Patwaji's doings. As punishment, Patwaji is ripped apart alive, and her body is made into food, and the mom eats her. Okay, we're just gonna stop there. So there's a Cambodian version called Kamher. It's similar to the name Ni Eng Kontak. So it's kind of similar to Tam Cam. So when Sandal de Or, the golden sandal. So yeah, there's many different other versions in Asia. So the Persian version, Ma Pesuni, it's similar to the German version, but the girl is born with a moon on her forehead, and she loses her biological mom, and she has two daughters, and then in The Shining, her stepmother and two daughters. In the contrast, there's a difference between the shining moon and ash, similar to fire under the ashes. So the location of shine on the forehead could be a reference to the superior knowledge of personality. So 1001 Nights. The second Shikaz story, and the eldest Sweetie's tale, all dealing with the theme of the younger sibling being harassed by two jealous elders. Oh, so the siblings are female while others in the tale are male. It's called 1001 Nights. So it's going to skip that part. It's a little long. So we're going to now read some parts. So the Disney version is based off of the Grimm's Brothers. Now in the Grimm Brothers, if you guys have watched the live action Cinderella, if you have not, that's a crime. Go watch it right now. Go pause this video. Go watch it. She tells in the live action. She tells Cinderella to have courage and be kind. So that's also what happens in this one. So she calls for her daughter on a deathbed. To remain good and kind, and God will protect her. And then she dies. Her mom. And then the father marries another woman and two daughters from a previous marriage. So they give her the nickname Ashbentutel, Ashful. So Cinderella, we're going to call it Ashful in this one. She goes to the graveyard and asks to be clothed in silver and gold. The white bird drops a gold and silver gown and silk shoes. She goes to the feast, and the prince dances with her, claiming her as his dance partner. So he goes to her house and tries on the slipper for the elder stepsisters. So since it won't fit because the sisters have huge feet, they cut off her toes to fit the slipper. Isn't that wonderful? So I'm just gonna. So the rest of it's. I feel like I'm probably boring you guys right now, but so we're gonna jump into the Grimm's Brothers version. We're just gonna be reading some of the parts that are a little bit different from the Disney version. So there isn't a feast. There's no dance. So this is when the older one took the shoe into her bedroom to try it on. She could not get her big toe into it, but it's a small shoe. Or big feet, I don't know. So the mother gave her a knife and said, cut off your toe. When you're a queen, you no longer have to go on foot. Then there's pigeons when she goes out, and the pigeons are yelling, look de goo, look de goo, there's blood in the shoe's too tight, this bride is not right. So he took the bride home and was like, I'm not marrying you, you have blood all over your feet, I'm not marrying you, you weirdo. He's like, you're not the right one, aka, I'm not marrying someone who cuts off their feet, you weirdo. So then the other one, mother gave her an empty cough piece your heel. When you're clean, you don't have to go on foot. Same thing happens. The prince the mother is saying that Cinderella is too dirty to be able to get married. Little much. But either way, the sisters seems like are saying that the pigeons began pecking out the sister's eyes. I'm kind of glad that didn't happen in the Disney version, because if it did, it'd probably curse kids for life. So yeah, Disney lied to you. Isn't it terrible what Disney did? So please comment down below if you like this, because if you do, I'm probably gonna be making a little series about this. Do gaming still? Please ask me if there's any other games that you want me to play. And we're gonna be putting more Dragon Slayer pretty soon too. I'm sorry I took that little break, but things have been kind of hard lately. So I'm trying to get back into YouTube. So thank you all for watching this. So let me know. I'm probably gonna have a poll in the community page if you liked it or not, and some fun names, maybe too. So yeah. And also, please comment down below too. What if you do want me to continue this series? What other tales from this Brothers Grimm do you want me to do? Like, I know there's also Ariel. I don't think it was Brothers Grimm, but it was something like that. We could do the origins of Frozen, Snow White. Also, I will also want to do some about nursery rhymes. So that'd be fun. Okay. So, see you guys in the next video. Bye! Oh, shoot.